So now we're getting very close to Lapras. I can feel it. So in the meantime, I'm going to cover some news for Hard Gold and Soul Silver because it's that time of the month again. So I'm going to begin with the news that will certainly interest competitive battlers, especially the ones who play Ubers. And this is the fact that the Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina that are going to be available through the RCS event are going to know special moves. Metal Burst for Dialga, Hydro Pump for Palkia, and Shadow Sneak for Giratina. Now, there's no need to say it. Palkia got completely robbed there. I can't see why it would want to use Hydro Pump. Well, to be fair, Hydro Pump has some uses in getting kills that Surf just can't, but I don't really know if there are things that Palkia's Surfs just barely falls short of killing, so I don't know how Hydro Pump could be useful, but my bet would be on not enough to matter. As for Dialga, well, Metal Burst, it's a nice move, but it's still a bit weak compared to Counter and Mirror Coat, and there's the fact that you'll want your Dialga to be reasonably fast. Metal Burst only works if you go second, no priority modifier at all. Besides, Dialga's already powerful enough as is. It's a bit too gimmicky for it to work, I think. Nonetheless, it's a fairly interesting addition that at least it's there if you want it. No, the big winner has to be Giratina. But I'm going to stop here now. I'm going to come back to this later because Lapras is here. Gotta love how I'm apparently surfing on a Lapras even though I'm not surfing on a Lapras. I'm surfing on a Psyduck, but no matter what you're surfing on, it looks like a Lapras. So, here we go. Level 20 Lapras for the taking. Hypnosis connects, and here we go. So it's asleep, so now I'm going to start hitting it with Nightshade, because Thunder is likely to kill it, and Ice Punch won't do much. Oh, come on! Oh, well, at least it did Body Slam, but it woke up pretty quick, so gonna send it to sleep again, and it connects again. I got pretty lucky with Hypnosis's accuracy so far. And meanwhile, I don't know if you've noticed in the last video, I didn't say anything because I was too busy talking, as usual, but stuff like Growl and Tail Whip just kept missing over and over and over again. Okay, now I'm weakening it with Ice Punch, so I'm just gonna do one last one, and then I'm gonna start chucking balls. But yeah, moves kept missing that shouldn't miss. And I'm not using Bright Powder or anything, so how did they keep missing? They have 100 accuracy, I don't get it. So here we go. Ball number 1. It would be so awesome if I caught it in one ball after, you know, what I said 2 videos ago about me being wary that it would take a lot of balls, but the first one just wasn't it. So let's try again. At least it stayed asleep long enough this time compared to the one turn that it stayed asleep the first time, and there we go! Lapras was caught, so team member number 4 acquired. Now you may be thinking that I'm done in the Union Cave, but nope, not quite yet. If you remember, there is another ladder that leads down to the basement of the Union Cave, but this time it's another section of the basement, the northern one. And it leads to the last 2 puzzles of the Ruins of Alph, but I need strength to get to those puzzles. Nonetheless, there are items there for the taking and trainers for the beating, so we're going to head there right now to level up my Pokémon some more. So back to Hard Gold and Soul Silver, Giratina really is the big winner here. Not as much the altered form, but especially the origin form, because as you know, it's a fairly decent stall breaker, but the problem is that it's just too slow. 90 speed just isn't enough for a clearly offensive force like Origin Giratina. So what better than a priority move to solve that problem? Especially since Giratina's best physical ghost move was Shadow Claw. Well, there's Shadow Force if you want to go... Hey! Wild Quagsire fled? Wow, that is something I haven't seen in ages. I forgot they could even do that. But yeah, there is... Shadow Force is pretty gimmicky. I suppose it could work if your opponent has nothing to switch into it, but otherwise, well, I still prefer Shadow Claw. Call it personal preference. But Shadow Sneak definitely has a leg up over the other two, thanks to that priority. So maybe we'll stop referring to Giratina, the origin form, as effective against defensive Pokemon, but completely crappy against offensive ones. Well, maybe that's not going to be as helpful as, you know, getting rid of those damn weaknesses, but them's the breaks. The typing's already determined, nothing's gonna change it, so they might as well give it anything to help, and Shadow Sneak just maybe the ticket. Next, we have Usine! Yep, Usine is going to appear in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Whether this means that the Suicune arc is going to come back, therefore making Suicune a non-runner, instead you catch it at the base of Tin Tower once more, well, this remains to be seen, but we know that Usine is going to be in this game. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I mean. Now, this also means that some other crystal features may make it back, such as Buena, of course, the Extreme Speed Dratini, which I think a lot of competitive folks would like, but there's nothing confirmed at this point. Even, well, I think the Usine thing is at least confirmed, but nothing else in regard to that whole crystal thing is. And next we have the fact that Lugia and Hoo in their respective versions, you remember in Gold and Silver they were level 40, now they're going to be level 45. Does that mean that they're going to fix the level curve and we're going to have to deal with something a little bit higher than a level 50 Dragonite in the Elite Four, please, maybe? Maybe it's a sign, but once again, I guess that's the kind of thing we're only going to see when the game's actually out, which is 2 months from now. The shiny Gyarados returns, but like Kanto, is it really a surprise? No, it's not. Next is one bit of unconfirmed news for now, but it's rumored that Mewtwo, Latias, and Latios, which are the only 3 legendaries not catchable in any way in a Generation 4 game so far, they might actually make an appearance in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Now, does this mean that... Oh, Wild Quagsire fled again. I haven't seen this for several years, and now I just saw this twice in about 3 or 4 minutes. Wow. But anyway, as I was about to suggest that maybe if Mewtwo comes back, maybe the Cerulean Cave will as well. And if the Cerulean Cave comes back, maybe they're actually going to expand Kanto back to its original size and maybe bring back some areas like the Viridian Forest, the Safari Zone. Hopefully, let's cross our fingers. Let's pray maybe the gaming gods have heard our pleas. But, as I said, even Mewtwo being there isn't confirmed, as well as Latias and Latios, but if those 3 are in the game, that means that between all of the 4th generation games, you can catch every single non-event Pokemon, except for the Generation 3 starters. Now, something tells me that they just might be included in a similar fashion to that of the Gold, Silver, Crystal starters in Emerald. You remember, if you fill the Ho Index, you get your choice among the 3 starters from Gold, Silver, Crystal. So you may ask, why this whole legendary extravaganza thing that was in Platinum and now Heart Gold and Soul Silver? The answer is pretty simple. They want to push the DSi as a viable handheld, a viable alternative to the DS Lite, since the DSi, as you may remember, is not compatible with Game Boy Advance games. So those with a DSi will be screwed out of certain Pokemon, namely all those legendaries and the Generation 3 starters. So that's why the whole legendary extravaganza thing. So that's going to be it for now. Next time I'm going to continue the Union Cave exploration.